Hey everyone, it's Elia, and today we have a video suggested by our amazing Patreon supporters. So let's begin. Ocarina of Time is an amazing game filled with mysteries. Throughout your adventure in Hyrule, many of these are answered on their own. However, after the game is finished, some of them have us digging deeper and dissecting lore to come up with our own theories and answers. Today we are going to be exploring the top 5 biggest mysteries in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, voted on by you. Now if you're a fan of videos like this and would like to see more, please give this video a like, it really does help out a lot. And comment below to let us know which games you would like us to focus on next. Then you can subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out when new videos go live. If we choose a game you brought to our attention, we'll give you a shout out during that video. Number 5. The Happy Mask Salesman. Starting off our list is the Happy Mask Salesman. Who is he? Where did he come from? How did he get his powers? Where did he find Majora's Mask? Why is he gone after Link is an adult? So many questions tied to a completely optional NPC. You could go the entire game without even seeing him. At first, he seems like a normal NPC, but following the events of Majora's Mask, the sequel to Ocarina of Time, he gets a lot more interesting. The game, which takes place only months after Ocarina of Time, begins with the Happy Mask Salesman having the mask stolen from him by the Skull Kid. This leaves many to wonder, was the mask with him in Hyrule the entire time? Which also brings up a few more questions such as, why didn't he use the power of the mask to help save Hyrule? What would have happened if Ganondorf, who was hungry for power, gained possession of the mask? Is this why the Happy Mask Salesman left Hyrule during the adult timeline? So that Ganondorf, who already possessed the Triforce of Power, wouldn't gain even more of it by having both Majora's Mask and the power of the Triforce? Or was the Happy Mask Salesman turned into one of the re-deads we see walking around Hyrule Castle Town? The list of questions that come from this single mystery of the Mask Salesman and Majora's Mask are countless. So, to try and answer the original question of whether or not he had the mask in Hyrule, from the information we are given, the answer is yes. The Happy Mask Salesman tells us that he is a traveling salesman who has gone to great lengths to acquire the cursed mask and has had possession of it for a long time, keeping it safely guarded. To answer the questions that stem from the original question, like what would happen if Ganondorf learned of the mask, would the salesman have used the mask against Ganon, did the salesman become a re-dead, I would like to read some of your own answers in the comments below. We'll even read some off during our podcast, which records live on this channel every weekend. So please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss your answers and comments being read and featured on the show. Number 4. The Song of Storms Paradox. You who do not fear the dead, learn well the song that is inscribed behind me. And if you ever meet my brother, I'd like you to inform him. The 1,000 years of raindrops summoned by my song are my tears. The thunder that strikes the earth is my anger. The Song of Storms has its own cameo appearances in Breath of the Wild and Oracle of Seasons, among other Zelda games. However, its most notable appearances are from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. What is so mysterious about this magical song that the Gerudo should desperately learn? Well, technically, it shouldn't exist. Where did it originate from? Well, Link is first introduced to it as an adult when talking to Guru. But Guru first learned it from Link 7 years prior. The entire scenario had many players scratching their heads, and honestly, with Ocarina of Time's huge emphasis on time travel, I think this is the point. I believe Nintendo wanted to introduce some sort of paradox for fun. It is important to note that when Link travels to Termina, he learns the song from the long-dead composer brother named Flat, who says he wrote it for his brother Sharp. Since different versions of the composer brothers appear in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, some believe their Ocarina of Time counterparts are also responsible for creating the song, just as they did with the Sun Song. However, this does not explain the paradox itself, as Guru specifically states it was Link who taught him the song. Many theories exist that suggest an answer, so if you have one of your own, please comment it below, and as previously mentioned, we might read them out on our podcast. Number 3. What happened to Navi? This one may have a different answer than you're expecting. When Ocarina of Time ends, we see Navi fly away and travel through the window of the Temple of Time. Link sets out on his new adventure to find her, but never does. This sets up the events of Majora's Mask. So, what happened to her? Where did she go? We have a few different possible answers here. 1. In Twilight Princess, it is shown that the window she flies through is the entrance to the dungeon portion of the Temple of Time, so she may have gone there. 2. The Temple of Time is a gate to the Sacred Realm, so Navi could have flown to the Sacred Realm or even possibly another dimension. 3. When a fairy fulfills its purpose, it disappears. Navi's original purpose, given to her by the Deku Tree, was to help Link stop Ganondorf and save Hyrule. With her quest complete, she flies off and disappears. This is to save Link the pain of watching his new best friend cease to exist. 4. In an interview with Miyamoto, he states that Navi is jealous of Zelda because she has a crush on Link. Although not likely, some believe Navi flies away to avoid the heartbreak that would eventually come, because of the obvious physical differences not allowing a fairy and a Hylian to be in a relationship. Finally, number 5. We'll end this Navi mystery here. It is possible that because Navi helped Link save the world, she is rewarded with becoming a great fairy. You know, instead of just accompanying the Kokiri in Kokiri Forest or replenishing health like a pink fairy. Navi is partially responsible for saving all of Hyrule. Number 2. Mystery Heart. Here's a quick one. If you go to Gerudo Fortress as a child, hidden away in a place that Child Link isn't supposed to be able to reach is an extra heart piece. But if you're an adult, the heart piece is gone. This left a lot of people wondering, was this area originally supposed to be accessed by Child Link? Was it purposefully placed there by the developers as a surprise for fans? Or was it something left over from the many other things removed from this area of the game? We're not sure what the right answer is, but this one extra heart piece caused many fans to search every inch of Hyrule to try and find even more beta elements left in the game. Before we get to our last mystery on the list, if you've enjoyed this video so far, then you should give it a like, as it does help us out a lot. Also, you should subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on more top 5s, top 10s, theory videos, and discussions. If we missed one of your favorite mysteries, then please comment below so we can use it in a future video, and we'll give you a shout out for it. Number 1. Bongo Bongo. A long time ago, there was a man in this very village who had an eye they said could see the truth. Now usually, you have to train your mind's eye most strenuously to actually see the truth. But this fella? No. They say he had a different way of doing things, and his house stood where that well is now. In Ocarina of Time, many characters, events, and locations have their own unanswered questions. But for us, nothing is as mysterious as Bongo Bongo, the boss of the Shadow Temple. Given the title Phantom Shadow Beast, he's one of the few creatures that isn't associated with Ganondorf. When Ganondorf takes over Hyrule, he revives Volvagia, and he curses Kokiri Forest, the Gorons, and the Zoras, and is attributed to many other disasters. However, Bongo Bongo's evil was sealed up by Impa long before the events of Ocarina of Time even took place. It is assumed that the quote from Shikashi that I read earlier is about the man who became Bongo Bongo, who is thought to have been a Sheikah member who betrayed the royal family, presumably to claim the Triforce for himself and rule over Hyrule, the same intentions as Ganondorf, and was sealed by Impa in the bottom of the well. Over time, just as when Demise was sealed and took the form of the imprisoned, this Sheikah defector, when sealed, took the form of this phantom shadow beast. Going back to the quote, he trained his mind's eye to strenuously see the truth, this is a clear reference to the power of the lens of truth. When Link uses it in the game, he isn't holding it up to his eye. He can still use his sword and shield, just as he always does, and the lens of truth is simply activated while in his pocket, consuming magic, and letting him see what is really there, acting as a third eye. So if a person in Kakariko Village was using the lens of truth, no one would actually see him using it and would assume he was doing it on his own. After betraying the royal family, he met with a very dark fate. From the appearance of Bongo Bongo, the Sheikah was killed via guillotine, having his hands chopped off at his wrists and his head chopped off at his neck. He was then sealed in the bottom of the well with his lens of truth. In fact, some believe that the dead hand mini-boss you fight to get the lens of truth is the physical demonized manifestation of this evil Sheikah defector, as he may have been buried and sealed alongside his possessions. This is just one of many theories though. No real evidence can be found in the game, nothing that directly states who Bongo Bongo was. Now, you can get more information from the manga, but all of the manga have their own theories that contradict the actual games, such as Link adopting a baby Volvagia from the Castletown Bazaar and it turning evil and attacking the Gorons, instead of what we know as fact, which is that Volvagia was defeated long before the events of the game and was resurrected by Ganondorf. However, it would have been pretty awesome to have a pet dragon while playing through the game. We may actually do a more in-depth theory on Bongo Bongo in the future, so if that is something you would be interested in, comment below and let us know. Also, give us a couple of your own theories on what or who you believe Bongo Bongo is. As always, if we feature your suggestion in the video, we will also give you a shout out. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Elia Rose for GameOverJesse, and we'll see you next time.